Hi everyone. This is the movie for Word Chapter 3, Pause and Practice number 2. So we're picking up where we left off in the first movie. So I'm in Word 3-2. We have our file is here, the American River Cycling Club, and let's go ahead and take a look at our instructions. So I'm going to change that so it's not full screen. And okay, so accept track changes and delete all comments in the document. Okay, so click on the bottom half of the accept button and do accept all changes. Click on the bottom half of the delete button in the comments area and delete all comments. Okay, so come up here and I'm going to do accept all changes. Wait, is that what we were supposed to do? Accept all changes and then delete all comments. Okay, so we already did so we're going to come here, delete all comments in document, and they are gone. So now insert endnotes. So endnotes and footnotes are things in your document that oh yay, it's done. Hold on a second here. Pause. Okay. So endnotes and footnotes are things in your document that are like extra pieces of information that you wouldn't necessarily put in the body of the document, but you want your reader to be able to get that information. So the difference between an endnote and a footnote is where they go. Footnotes appear at the bottom of the page. Endnotes are all collected and put at the end of the document. So if we take a look at what we're supposed to do here, insert endnotes. Position the insertion point after PTP and before the space in the first page, first body. So we're going to find right here, PTP, right next to it before the space. And then we're going to insert an endnote. So we're going to go to our References tab. And we're going to do insert endnote. I'm going to put an endnote in here. And I'm going to just do that. Personal training program. Personal training program. Okay, so then position your insertion point after the first occurrence of max VO, third page, second sentence. So page 3, second sentence in the training and intensity. Okay, right here. So right after the 2, and what I'm going to put here is we're going to do a insert endnote, and let's see, the highest rate of oxygen consumption attainable during maximal or exhaustive exercise. Exhaustive exercise, and I have maximal spelled wrong. Maximal, make sure I got that right. The highest rate of oxygen consumption attainable during maximal or exhaustive exercise. Cool. All right, position the insertion point after RPM, third page, sample session section. Sample session, find RPM. Right here. Is that the first occurrence of it? Let's see. After the R, before the period. Okay. So that's going to be revolutions per minute. So I'm going to come here, insert an endnote, revolutions per minute. Alrighty. apply bold and italic to the word maximal and exhaustive. So I use my command key. I selected both of those. I'm going to right click. I'm going to do a bold. This is one way I could have just went home. So those two words are a bold. And so we have our endnotes. Notice they're all three at the end, no matter what page they're on. So now what we're going to do, I'm going to do a quick save. And then what they want us to do is convert our endnote to a footnote. Okay. So we need to go in here and let's see what we can do. Let me expand that. So this part's a little different for the Mac. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select these actually in the EndNote, right click and convert to footnote. So now all three of those are converted to a footnote. Let me undo that and show you again. So I went to the EndNotes and I selected the EndNotes. I did a right click, convert to footnote. So now they are on each individual page that that has the notation. Okay, so we did that. So we want to change the format of the footnotes to ABC. So we got to figure out how to do that. So if we come in here and okay, so this next part, it's having us change it from 1, 2, 3 to ABC. So in the Mac, what I'm going to do is just go to one of the footnotes, right click, and go to where it says Note Options. And right here is the format. We're going to click that and do ABC. We're going to apply. And now they say ABC instead of 1, 2, 3. So that was a little different. That's the way I do it. There might be other ways to do it, but that's the way I do it. I right click on the actual note. All right, so we have that done. Okay, right click the footnote, select style. So footnote, let's see, style. And let's see what they want us to do. They want us to change it to 9 point and line spacing to 1.5. So it's on footnote text. I need to modify. I'm going to change it to 9 point, right? And then right here is the 1.5. So that's okay. Apply. Let's make sure I got everything. 9 point, 1.5. So it's a little smaller and there's a little spacing. So once again, I started by doing a right click on this and I went this time to style. So the other one was note option. That's how we changed the format of it. And then now we just did the style. All right, select the report style for sources and citations. So we're going to go to references and we're going to click this arrow down right here. And they want us to do MLA 7th edition. So that's picking the format that we want our sources. All right, so now what we're going to start doing is putting in some sources and placeholders and that kind of thing. So we're going to, let me see. All right, so there's two things you need to know. One is a source and one is the citation. You use the citation to mark the source. So we first have to come in here and say, where we got to go? First page, after the word schedule, end of first paragraph, right here. So we always go after the word before the period. So we're going to insert a citation. We don't have any sources, so it's going to make us pick the create the source. So I'm going to scoot that over here so I can see it. So the type is book. Author Edward R. Burke, period, Burke. Title: The Complete Book of Long Distance Cycling, New York, Rodale Books, 2013. And let's see. I am not seeing the tagline. Let's see. I do not see the tagline, which is okay. I mean, it's not a big deal. So we're going to go ahead and do okay. Let's see. Yeah, I don't see tag on here. Short title. No. All right, we're just going to go ahead and say okay. So now we have Burke in there, and if I look up its citations, let's see. Citations, now Burke is there for me. Okay. So the next thing is we're going to put a placeholder in, which is if I don't know what the information is, but I want to make sure I put a placeholder there. So what we're going to do is find the spot. So after the word speed, last bullet in paces of ride, duration of ride, pace of ride, speed, right there. So we're going to do an insert citation. It's going to be yeah, so hold on here. So we're going to my pauses. Okay, so this is one of the things where I don't have an answer for you on how to do this in a Mac, but we're going to turn around and change it to a regular source anyhow. So here's how I would do it in a Mac is I would insert the citation and I'd put the author. So it's a document from a website. So I would pick that. So document from a website, and I'd put in Velo News. Wait, it's a corporate, let's see. Author as an organization is what we want. So Velo News. And then I just wouldn't fill any of the rest of it in, right? I would just say okay. And it would be an incomplete citation, right? There'd be nothing to it. So then I would just have to go and, oops. I inserted it, sorry. I would just have to edit that. So let's see here. I'm going to close that up. I'm going to undo it again. So we can just undo it again. Redo. And okay. So I have this placeholder in here. And so when I put it in, it appears here. So now I need to go back and I need to edit it. So I'm in citations. Don't double click on it though. Single click, come down here to this button, click the down, and then do edit source. And that brings you back to the Velo News. So now we have that. Let's see if we can, I need to unmaximize that. We're going to edit source, and then I'm going to make sure I have this typed in correctly. So document from web, Velo News, name of web page, training tips for recreational cyclists, velonews.com. URL http://www.velonews.com news.com/training tips.html. Don't need that. So year is 2016, and then year accessed was 2016, month September. So on this one, you always have to watch, are they saying the year that it was published or the year that you accessed it, and the year and date? So 14th. I think that's it. So we're going to go ahead and do OK. Yes, I want to change it to both. All right. So we're going to do a new citation. So if I'm going to do a new one here, I could do Citation Source Manager. That brings up this. And I can do new. So when I did this little down arrow here, instead of editing an existing course or source, I want to do Citation Manager. And this gets you to something that resembles what's in the chapter for this, but you did it through this little button here. So we're going to do new. So this is another way to get to a new source. So this is going to be a book. The author is Thomas Chappell. The title is Base Building for Cyclists, San Francisco, Velo Press, 2014. We're going to come down here to the edition is 3rd. And then we're going to do OK. So now you notice here, Chappelle is listed, but there's no check mark. That means we haven't used it yet, but we've created it. So now what we're going to do is actually find, update some of these. So go to the second page. Let me close this. Go to the second page and rest day and before the period. We're going to do Thomas Chappell's. Okay, second page, after rest day. In the number of rides per week section. Number of rides per week, rest day. After rest day and before the period. Mine doesn't have a period there. Am I in the wrong spot? Oh, right here. Sorry. Rest day. So now we're going to do insert citation. Oops, wrong one, Helen. Citations. We're going to find Chappelle. If I double click, click, it puts it right in there. All right, so then we're going to do the rest of them. After training week, page 2, last bullet in duration. So we're going to find after the training. Oh, Lord. Okay. Training week. After training week, we did that one. No, we didn't do that one. After training week and before the period in the duration of rides. Page 2, last bulleted item, training week. We're going to put Burke, double click. All right, after maximal heart rate, page 3, first paragraph. After maximal heart rate and before the period, page 3. Okay, maximal after maximal heart rate, right there. And we're inserting Thomas Chappell, so we're going to find it and double click. Velo News. After overtraining, page 3, heart factors. End of other heart factor section. Not overtraining. We're going to put a period here between the G and the period. And that's going to be Velo News. So we're going to come up here and double click on Velo News. And I believe we're done with that, so we can close that up. I'm going to go ahead and do a save because I don't want to lose that. All right, insert a bibliography and change the report style. So we're going to go to the bottom of the page. Whoops. Sorry. We're going to go to the bottom of the page, and we want to control enter. Let's see, I want to actually go down, get rid of that, command enter. That's going to put our new page in there. And now we want to do a bibliography, so we're going to click here, bibliography. It's going to put it in there. And oops, wrong one. Sorry, let me undo that. Bibliography, we're going to do, we don't want a built-in, so we need to expand this out. Okay, so on this one, we're gonna vary it a little bit because we're actually gonna change it anyhow. So we're going to insert our bibliography, and we're gonna say works cited, and it's gonna create a works cited page. It shouldn't matter. They say pick references, but that's all right. Works cited is actually the correct term for this. So we're going to select works cited, and we're going to center it, right? So instead of references, yours says works cited, and that's okay. We're going to apply 10-point after. So if we look at paragraph, after, we're going to do, no, that's the indent, sorry. Spacing before, we're going to do after is 10, so I got to actually type 10-point. Puts a little space. So all I did there was right click, right? And then I went to font. And then I got to this, and it allowed me, oops, no, I went to paragraph, sorry, went to paragraph. And then I did the spacing after, okay? And then click the start and select. Okay, so one of the things that I want you to notice is how this works. So if you have, if you have it as MLA, look at how you see the author's names. If I come up here to references and I change it to APA, my citations change because in APA they don't put names, that it's gender neutral. So at that point you're going to save it, and we're done with Pause and Practice 2 for Word Chapter 2. I'll finish it up with the next movie. All right, guys, thank you.